Hello, my huns. Hello, hello, hello. This your handful mama. Back again, you guys. 4th of July. I hope you guys are having a lot of fun out there. I'm hoping you guys will have a blessed 4th of July. I hope you thank God this morning that you are here again for another 4th of July. This your handful mama. Back again, you guys. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I come on live. Drop a video or a short. Make sure you guys are watching Grandma What You Doing shorts. Funny, funny, funny if you want a good laugh. Probably going to be dropping a couple today. Not sure. I just want to have a good 4th of July. You guys, my meal today will be consisting of some fried, yes I said fried ribs. So if you never have cooked fried ribs, I hear a lot of people saying they have never cooked fried ribs. So if you want to learn today, I'm going to show you guys how to do it. It's very, very simple. But make sure when you come in, hit that thumbs up for your handful mama. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It don't cost you anything. Make sure you give the video a big thumbs up. Keep that notification bell on. After you subscribe, comment down below and let me know if you have had fried ribs before or you haven't. But I also will be having, I said fried ribs, and then I'm going to have some rib tips. The rib tips, they're going to be loaded with a sticky barbecue. They're in the oven now. If you didn't check out that video, how I cut them down and also how the seasoning that I put on them, go ahead and check out that live. I just did that probably about an hour ago. So if you want to make you some sticky ribs tips, you'll know how. But they're still in the oven. As you can see, I got 16 minutes left on them. They're in the oven cooking. I'm going to try to see if I can get a glance of them. You really can't see them because I don't want it to, you can, okay, y'all see them up in there? There they go right there. I just don't want my phone to get overheated. But I like to have everything I'm going to use on the stove already. And I have my flour right here. I have my seasonings right here ready to go. And I have my skillet right here with my oil in it. So I'm holding this phone, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I'm going to be using. I like to clean my meat really good. That's one thing that's really important because if you do that, you'll get a good tasting meat. But I'm not going to cut these down. I'm just going to cook them the size they are. They are still a little damp. That's good that they're still a little damp because I'm going to just shake them a little bit and all that water is at the bottom. But I'm going to take each one out. But I'm going to go ahead and start seasoning them a little with some of this garlic powder. You can see me shaking the garlic powder on them. And that's probably going to be it on my garlic powder. Yeah, that's it. I'm also going to be having me some, I don't know if I'm going to do cheese, broccoli and cheese, or if I'm just going to do steamed broccoli, or I just got to figure out. But I know I'm going to have broccoli. I just got to figure out if I'm going to do cheese with it or if I'm going to just steam it with like a little butter on top of the stove. And then also we're going to have some sweet corn. And then we got 2 kinds of rib fried and also these sticky ribs. And then I'm also going to go in with some lemon pepper. And then with these fried ribs, we got ranch for dipping. Whoever want ranch. Okay, y'all see that? I got my lemon pepper on there. And let's make sure this chat is on. But I hope you guys doing well over there on your 4th of July. Comment down below if you're going to be barbecuing, going to your family house, eating out. Just tell me what you're doing on your side if you don't mind. I'm going to go in with some paprika. And you know, I did fried ribs on my channel, like I was saying before, probably about 1.5 years or something like that. And I thought I posted that video. And what made me think about fried ribs, for one, my son said he wanted fried ribs. For two, I never posted that video. So when I look back, only thing I saw was my thumbnail of me, like, you know, holding the fried ribs up. But I never did see the video. And then I'm like, I didn't put that out because I really wanted everybody to see, you know, my friend. I'm just going to go in with some paprika. And I got to save a little of this because I'm almost on empty. I got probably about another teaspoon and a half in there. But I want to save a little bit because I want to put a little on the fried ribs when they're done. I almost said fried pork chops. When the fried ribs are done, I want to put a little parsley flakes on them after they're done. And then also I have to have a little for my street corn. So I gotta make sure I save a little. Cause tomorrow I'll be probably doing tomorrow or the next day I'll probably be, or before the week out for sure, I'll be stocking back up on my seasoning. So that's why I don't want to use it all. Just gonna dip my hand on this because you know you can't have no wet hand going into that grease. If you do, you're gonna get popped. I got the light out in here, I got the air on, but I think you guys still can see me really, really good. But I do have the light off because, baby, I don't, when the daylight comes, God has blessed me with all this light. I'm clicking that switch. We don't run no lights over here in the daytime because we've been blessed with all this beautiful light from the good Lord. But I have my light out. But you guys still really can still see, you know, all the seasoning that I put on these. So I'm just going to go ahead and just give this just a little mix. And like I said, it's got a little water at the bottom. This is only from the meat, and that's fine because all the seasonings that I use, they're kind of powerful. So I want it to have just a little still liquid, so it'll take down some of that seasoning that I put on there. Because I put a lot on there. Y'all saw that. And I want them to be just like that. Not so powerful. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the first one. You still can see it's still good and seasoned. And we're going to take it over to our flour. And what I like to do is sit any kind of meat that I fry, I like to sit it in the middle and then put the flour on top of it. Because some people will roll it around. I'd like to just dip it on mine and then I can dust it off. And that's where I'm not consuming a lot of flour stuck on there. And then plus it's going to fry better because you don't have that thick flour on there. So I just like to do mine like that, just dip the flour on it instead of rolling it. Now, a lot of people will put it in a bag and shake it. That's good too because you get a lot of that excess off. And I'm just going to shake it like this, really, really good. And go ahead and put that bad boy in this skillet. I'm going to turn my skillet up just a little bit because right now I have it on 3. I'm going to do like 4.5, close to 5, so it can go ahead and start frying up really good. I'm going to do medium. So I have it on medium. And as you can see, it's frying up really, really good. Let me try to get this a little large because I can't stand up too close because it will overheat my foam. So I can't stand too close. So that's your first fried rib in. So if you didn't know, now you know. Go ahead and give your handful mama a big thumbs up. If you don't mind, share out the video if you don't mind. But yeah, that's your first fried rib. And on each side, this one is not a large one. It's probably like medium. So you want to make sure they're frying really, really good on each side because some of that, the rib meat, I got the one that doesn't have like the bone all the way through it. So you got just mostly meat. You want to go ahead and let those fry on each side for a good 7 minutes before you turn it. Because you want it to be done all the way through. But like I said, we're going to use probably ranch for dipping. And then I might, if I can, squeeze some mustard out of my mustard bottle. I should have bought another one. I really want to make a honey sweet mustard to go with these as well. As you can see, my rib tips have about 8 minutes on them. I'm going to take them out, and like I said, when I take them out, I'm going to drain the excess fat off them, and then I'm going to get the barbecue sauce on them and put them back in the oven for about 10 minutes so that barbecue sauce can get sticky on them. And then also, I just want them to be just tender. So, like I said, this is the first one going in. We're going to come back to the pot. And I'm going to get the second one. And I'm going to take it over to my... It's basically like you are cooking pork chops. But only thing about the rib, if they're thick, you got to make sure you get those turned over at least 7 minutes, every 7 minutes. And they need to cook at least a good 16 to 20. Because this is some real thick meat. It's some real thick meat. So you just can't pull it out like you pull out your chicken or your pork chops. So the pork chops are really thin. You got to let these really, really cook. Because you got that thick meat. Put this one on this side. Let it start frying up really, really good. And we look like we got enough room for one more. Stand back a little bit so y'all can see it. Try to make this camera a little small. Okay, that's a little better. A little better and a little clearer. But I just don't want to get up too close because it will overheat. Okay, you guys see that? Okay, I'm going to go in with another one. Look like we got enough room for one more. And we're going to choose this one right here. It's really meaty. Got a lot of thick meat on it. And these are going to be super, super good with that ranch. Dipping them in that ranch. With that street corn. With that broccoli. And also those barbecue rib tips. I think I'm going to just eat me a fried one. Then get me some barbecue rib tips. And get me that street corn. And also some broccoli. Yeah, baby. We're going to put this one on this side. So this one, the first one has been in probably around about 3 minutes. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get that one turned in about the 7-minute mark. I'm going to wash my hands over here. Let you guys see these frying. When you're dealing with raw meat, you have to wash your hands in between. You have to wash your hand. But I'm cooking fried ribs. So if you have never saw fried ribs cooked, a lot of people just use the barbecue ribs. We fry ribs on this side as well. And if you missed some of the video, just go back and watch it from the front. And you will see these fried ribs coming to perfection. I just have 3 in the skillet because like I said, they're really, really thick. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for your Handful Mama. Subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you're checking out Grandma What You Doing shorts. That's on my YouTube shorts. They're really, really funny. Really, really entertaining. But today we are over here. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing rib tips. I have some I'm doing barbecue rib tips. Some street corn as well as some sauteed broccoli. That is our 4th of July. That's what our menu consists of. And then I have my ribs tips in the oven. I have 2 pans. It's around about maybe 30 to 40 barbecue rib tips. They're about 4 minutes away. You can see the 4 minute on the stove there. 4 minutes. I'm going to pull those out and drain the excess fat off of those. And I'm going to get my barbecue sauce and get it on. Toss them really good. So that, and then they're going to go back in the oven so that barbecue sauce can get sticky on those ribs. I love mine to be thick and sticky. Very thick and sticky. And I'm going to do that for around about 8 to 10 minutes. Put them back in the oven and they will be ready. They already have been on like close to an hour because that rib meat is kind of thick and you want to make sure they cook all the way through. So if you missed that video, I did that about maybe an hour ago. So go back and watch that live. If you want to see what seasons I put on those, just go back and watch it. I'm over here just rinsing my hand off because I'm about to turn over this first rib so you guys can see this first rib that I turned over. So you guys don't sleep on the fried ribs. If you're a person that likes to cook, I love to cook. I have cooked. Within the last year, I don't cook so much stuff. I haven't been doing a lot of lives, though, on cooking several things. But believe me, your girl been still cooking. Probably going to get back to recording a lot of stuff here in the future. You know, we got a lot of holidays coming up. But I love to get on there and do your Grandma What You Doing shorts. So go check that out. My YouTube channel, the one you're on now. Go check that out so you can see your Handful Mama giving you guys an extra laugh. This was the first one that I put in. I'm going to go ahead and turn it because, like I said, 7 minutes. You guys can see how that look. You want to do at least 7 minutes on each side. And after you flipped it for the first time on one side, this one cooks 7 minutes. This side's going to cook another 7 minutes. And then we're going to give it just an additional about 3 minutes on each side. And it should be cooked all the way through. The reason why you want to do that, because these ribs are very, very thick. And I like my meat cooked correctly. This is the second one we put in. It's been going probably around about 5. We're going to give it about another 2 minutes before we turn it over. Gonna scoot this one over just a little bit so it can get in that good oil and fry. But a lot of people are just used to, like I was saying, they're just used to barbecue ribs. You can dress a rib up and cook it however you want. You can either boil them on top of the stove with some vegetables, a lot of vegetables, and then just make your little stock with your onions and your gravy. And you can have a gravy rib. You can just cook them any type of way. We got about 1 more minute before we turn this one. And like I said, when you put your raw rib in the flour, put it in the middle and just pick up the flour and add it to your rib. Don't turn it around. I like to just put my raw meat in the flour, pick up my flour with my hand, add it on my rib, and then shake it off. Because then you don't have that extra thick flour on there, and it's going to cook just like this, nice and crispy. So yeah, this is what my 4th of July is consisting of. I wanted me some ribs, barbecue tips. Have those in the oven. They got 48 more seconds. And my son, he said fried ribs. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to do fried ribs. Because I did fried ribs before on my channel. And I never posted the video. So now you know you can do fried ribs just like fried pork chops. But it's going to be a better meat. It's going to be a way better meat. So we're going to go ahead and turn this one, because this one has been about 7 minutes as well. We're going to let this one cook about another 3. That one's 7. And then we're going to get ready to turn this one in about maybe 2 minutes. Look like my rib tips are about to buzz. I'm going to go ahead and get those. There's the oven right there. Let me put my tongue back over here where I have it over here on the table. And I'm going to get my handy dandy bless this house. That's what my kitchen little mat says. Bless this house. And I'm going to open my oven and check on these guys. Woo, there's the smoke, there's the smoke. There was the smoke, there's the smoke. So we're going to take out the first pan and see how it looks. Woo. Make sure I don't burn myself. Rib tips to perfection. And that's how I want them. Y'all see all that sauce in the bottom? You still have that sauce in the bottom. And that's how I want them to look. And actually, I don't have a lot of fat left over. And that's good. Because it's a lot of fat still in the bottom. When I turn these guys, it's going to be a lot of fat. And the only thing I'm about to do now is let these rest. And I'm going to get that barbecue sauce on and shake them around on these rib tips. And it's going to get really, really sticky. And I'm going to put them back in the oven for about 7 to, this is the other pan. I'm going to put them back in the oven for around about 7 to 10 minutes and let that barbecue sauce just get sticky on them. I'm going to shake them around and everything. I'm talking about goodness. It's going to be goodness. So I'm going to turn it off. Make sure it's clear. It's off. Okay, everything is off. And that's how they look again, sitting in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and get back to my fried. Get my focus back on those while these are cooling down. I'm going to leave the oven open just a little. As y'all can see, I just opened it just a little because I want those to start cooling down. And then I'm going to get those babies ready to be going in the barbecue sauce. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one over because this one been like 7 minutes on that side. And like I said, after the 7 minutes, you want to do at least another 3 to 5 minutes because this is some thick meat and it has to be done all the way through. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one over. 7 minutes on this side as well. Put my tongue in a little grease. That's to kill, you know, when you're constantly turning meat to meat, you want to, I like to just stick mine in there since I'm dealing with raw meat that I'm turning over back to halfway done meat. And I'm just putting it in there and it's going to just, you know, take off any cooties or whatever. Y'all know when you're dealing with raw meat, and don't start talking about, well, I don't do my meat like that. I put all my chicken in a pan, and then I use 5 spatulas when I'm turning the raw meat from the cooked meat. That's a lie. Y'all know we use the same old tongue or knife or whatever you use down there. So don't start that. You know how y'all people be doing. Not that I care, but I'm just gonna say, just be real about it. Y'all know y'all ain't using no 7 tongues when you get ready to turn this chicken. If it's still a little raw on one side, you ain't getting no another tongue to turn it over. You're gonna use that same tongue. Some of y'all probably ain't even got no tongue, huh? You probably using something else. Cause see, I ain't ashamed about it. Cause back in the day, we used, you know, we came from no rich family. We use forks, knife, whatever, to turn the chicken or whatever we cooking. As long as it get turned, ain't that the point? As long as it get turned over to fry on the other side. That's the point. We're gonna give this one around about one more minute before I turn it. Bring the camera up just a little bit so I can step back because my phone, I don't want it to overheat. So I can step back some. So we're going to be eating good over here, baby, for the 4th of July. Thank God for it. Thank you for seeing another 4th of July. We're going to be eating good over here. We're going to run out and get some drinks, not alcoholic beverages. Probably just like a couple of drinks, get them real cool to go with our dinner. But I'm pretty sure the kids are probably going to eat a little of those rib tips way before dinner. Dinner here is not probably going to be till around about 6:45. So that's why I cooked the extra pan. I don't have a big family, but I cooked an extra pan of those rib tips because I know they're going to want to try those early. So we're going to have one for now, and then we'll have about maybe 8 of these super large. We'll have about 8 of these super large fried ribs. And then we'll have another pan of about maybe 20 of the rib tips, barbecue rib tips. But I know they're going to eat this other pan probably as soon as I get done with them. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn this one over because this one right here, it has been on the other side. And as you can see, this one is super thick. So I'm going to probably have to let this one cook an additional 5 minutes because it's just thick. And this one right here, it's going to be close to coming out. I turned it and let it cook like an extra 3 to 5 minutes on the other side. And we're going to get this side like an extra 5 minutes. But these are not fried pork chops. If you're just coming in, they're fried ribs. So once again, you can fry your ribs just like pork chops, honey. Like I said, you can fry ribs. You can barbecue ribs. You can saute ribs on the stove with some onions and yellow pepper, green pepper, and just give it a saute. Season it with your seasonings, and you can do a stovetop rib. It takes about a good 40 minutes, but just constantly turn it around about a good every 5 minutes to make sure it's sauteing really good. Just add you around about maybe a half a cup of water. You also, with your rib, you can make a gravy with your rib. Like these right now, you can take this rib that's fried, put it in a pot with your onions, bell peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, onion, your seasonings. Put that gravy to it, and you will have a gravy rib with all kind of seasonings and peppers. and you put that like over a bed of rice or a bed of cream potatoes, baby, hey, baby, but like you'll be thinking you at a 5-star restaurant. You'll be thinking that you at the 5-star restaurant. And then I have the stove on medium. Medium is like a 5. I'm going to turn it up like on a 5.5. I'm going to go ahead and turn this one back over because it's been almost 7 minutes for this one. Actually, I'm going to do that. Let this one go on about like another... We're going to give this one about another 3 minutes before we turn it over because this one is kind of thick as well. It's kind of thick as well. But that's the only thing, the difference about ribs and pork chops. Ribs and pork chops, the ribs have a thicker meat. If I was doing pork chops, they would have been coming out or been out. But you have a thicker meat, but you won't be disappointed because it's really, really good. It's a whole different taste. And over here, we don't eat a lot of pork. This is probably the only pork that I've had within the last maybe last 7-8 months, maybe. We don't eat a lot of pork, so when I do cook it, I want to cook it to perfection. Want to make sure my family is enjoying it because it'll probably be a while before I cook pork again. We are fish, shrimp, chicken, turkey meat, turkey bacon people on this side. People that eat pork, I don't have nothing against them, but I know I can't be having pork like that. And I know I don't want the kids having a whole lot of pork, but I know most definitely your girl, your handful of mama can't have all that pork, baby. Unless she want to be somewhere laying up in a hospital bed. So I just make sure we're not having pork a lot. Sometimes we'll do 3 times a year, sometime 2, and sometime it might just be 1. Because like I said, we are fish people. We do bacon. We'll be doing the turkey bacon. Try to do the turkey meat, like you're going to make your hamburger, your spaghetti. Now, one point in time, about maybe 6 months back, I started back buying the hamburger meat. But I'm going to have to get away from that hamburger meat. The reason why I did that, because I'm telling you, the turkey meat had went up so high. I'm like, yeah, I can't be spending no $20 for no just pound of turkey meat. Trying to see what I'm hearing outside. I heard something knocking. I'm going to turn this up. Go ahead and turn it up on 6. And we're going to go ahead and turn this one around one more time. Like I said, I want to make sure my meat is done. Don't want no half-done meat. And then I look at my food, I look at it, and I judge it by my judgment. Because I like a crisp on all of my meats. I love to have that crisp. I love to have that crunch. I don't want nothing that's going to be soggy. It's like my time has went in vain. If I'm going to stand here by this stove 30 minutes on these ribs and they going to be soggy. I ain't doing that. I want to have that crunch, that crisp. And like I said, the kids probably going to eat ranch with these. And also, I'm going to try to see if I got enough mustard to make a, like a honey sweet, like a sweet mustard. Sweet and spicy. I probably make like a honey lemon pepper sweet mustard. That'll be good. Because you're going to have a little sweetness. You're going to have a little sweetness, and then that lemon pepper, you'll have like a lemon pepper taste with a little pepper, and with the mustard, the mustard already has like a little tang to it, and then I probably just do like a honey sweet lemon pepper mustard. I'm going to do that as well. That's if I got enough mustard. Because like I said, I got to stock up on a lot of stuff. Because I don't know if y'all like me, if you do, comment down below. Do you find yourself sometime going to the store and just buying mustard and ketchup and ranch and barbecue sauce and hot sauce? All the little toppings that we put on our food. Do you ever find yourself buying extra and you haven't checked your pantry or your refrigerator to see if you already have some? I used to always buy extra mustard or extra ketchup and I already have some. So I stopped that because You will really get out of budget if you do that. Because sometimes I can find myself buying an extra $15 worth of stuff, toppings. You know, I'm like, I can't keep doing this. So from now on, when I go to the store, I make sure the bottles are down to the bottom. And then I'm going to turn them upside, you know, I'm going to turn them, flip them over so everything can run to the bottom and try to use that. So, yeah, I checked that now. So I won't be overspending and then just have stuff, you know, just sitting in the refrigerator. And 9 times out of 10, if I got something left in one bottle, believe me, one of the kids probably gonna just open the new bottle anyway. So it's like that you got two bottles open. So I just want to make sure I am looking to make sure I don't need anything. I know I said I was just gonna do this in like another 3 minutes, but I just, like I said, I want to make sure they done, because this meat is super thick, you guys. Look at it. This meat is thick. So you got to make sure you are turning it. Now my rib tips, they have cooled down. They're ready for me to put the barbecue sauce on it. And I'm going to do that in probably about the next 5 minutes. And then I'm going to do my street corn. And then I'm going to do my broccoli. And I might just go ahead and do like a loaded broccoli dish. I'm probably just going to do broccoli and cheese and get that parsley flakes on it. And then when we get ready to eat it, I'd probably just put me like a little ranch on it. And it'll be like a little broccoli, little extra side gourmet dish. But I love to cook, you guys. But lately, I just been so busy within like the last 7 months. I cook, but I don't film because I have been very, very busy. I'm going to turn this one back over because this is my thickest one in here. And I was trying to find a lot of my thick pieces like this to make out of the rib tips, because you know that oven is really going to shrink them some. But this one kind of got away, and I just said I would just go ahead and just fry this one. But these are ribs. We're doing rib tips, fried ribs, street corn, barbecue tips, and we are doing some broccoli. Broccoli, street corn, barbecue rib tips, and fried ribs. That will be our dinner for the 4th of July. We're going to run to the store. It's still early here. Early. I got up this morning. I said, let me get out this bed, honey, so I can go and cook. Because I have to clean my meat. I want to clean my meat really, really good. Put it in hot water, excuse me. Give it a good 4 pans. At least 4 pans of good hot washing water. So I knew I had to do that. I knew that was going to take at least a good 10 minutes. So I went ahead and did that. And then I know I had to set everything out, like my seasonings as well as my flour on the back of this stove here. And I know those rib tips, I had to cut those down a little, separate them, because they're not going to be tips if you have them whole. You have to cut them down. And I see my ribs are getting that crisp on them, and that's what I want, that good crisp, that good old crisp right there. So I'm going to give this one 2 more minutes, and I know it's going to be done. And like I said, I did 2 pans of the rib tips because I know, like I said, it's still early here. And the kids are going to eat on that one probably first. And then we're going to run to the store and get, you know, the extra little things we need for today. And I think they're going to go outside later, probably around about 7:30, and do their fireworks. And I'm probably going to record that as well. So if you're not busy around 7:30 tonight, you can come back. Your Handful Mama will be live. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're sitting around right now, you need a good laugh, go check out my YouTube shorts and share it out if you know another friend or family member that need a laugh. So if you need a laugh, click off right now. I won't be mad. Come back after you watch it. Go watch your Grandma What You Doing shorts on YouTube. This same channel. You just got to go to the shorts. Very, very, very funny. Very, very entertaining. Now, while we doing this one, because this one is about to come out, I'm going to turn this one again. I'm going to turn this one again, and I'm going to go to my sink because I need to wash out me. I'm going to close my oven. I need to wash out me a plate to put these on because they are about to be done. Let me grab a plate. This is the rest of my, come on, focus camera, focus. Got to get the camera to focus first, y'all. Okay, there we go. These are the rest of the raw fried ribs that I'm going to cook. So like I was saying before, I have plenty more. It's about, we're going to have, these guys are big and thick. It's about enough to make about 6 more. We have these right here in this skillet here, almost about to be done. I'm going to go ahead and rinse out my plate because these are about to get pulled out. But you can see how long I had to cook these. Like I said, if these were pork chops, they would have been out. But these rib tips are thick, and you got to make sure they are cooking all the way through. I can't have mine any other way. My meat has to cook all the way through. So you guys are going to see me take these out in just a second. Just want to rinse out my plate. I'm the type of person, I could have just been washing my dishes, but I have to rinse out my dish before I pull it and put any food on it. Because I don't know, I could have one of those sneaky gnats up in here. And that's something I hate to have. I make sure I buy me some fly spray. Sometimes I like to have 3-4 cans. I can't stand flies, gnats, none of that. If you ever go on my channel, I think I've had my channel now probably about maybe 3 years, close to 3 years. But if you ever go on my channel, you shouldn't see a fly or a gnat. Because that's something I can't stand. He got to go before I start cooking. So comment down below if you the same way. Like I said, they got to go before I start cooking. Because I can't do it. I cannot. I don't want anything flying in my house before I'm cooking or while I'm cooking or after I'm cooking. Because after I cook, it's time to sit down and eat. And I don't want nothing in my house. That's going to be a problem. So I'm going to set my plate. This is the plate I'm using. I'm going to set my plate right here. And I'm going to grab the tongs again. And it's time to take these fried ribs out. Time to take them out. And this is how it's looking. I'm going to turn this one over. They got that crisp punch on them. And then another thing I like to do when I'm cooking, I like to go around the sides. You go around the sides like this, just like this. That'll stop your oil, olive oil, or whatever you're using. It'll stop your oil from burning real fast. Because those crumbs accumulate on the side. And that's what make your oil burn really, really quick. I just like to go around the side. So I'm going to go ahead and take this rib out. I'm going to give it a good shake because I don't want any oil on my plate. So if I'm shaking right now, please excuse the camera because I'm shaking this oil off of here. I don't want that excess. And if you have hung around with me, I really appreciate it. Like I said, I hope you guys are having a good 4th of July. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'm going to come back later. And I'm going to be outside with the kids doing their fireworks. Going to get me a little breather. I hope it get down to at least about 80 around that time. Right now it's probably around about 90. And I'm going to shake this really, really good and get this on the plate. That's me putting it on the plate right there. Move it over here. It had a little oil that came with it, but that's expected. And then I'm going to turn this one over. Then as I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and do that quick stir again because I do not want my oil to burn. I try to preserve my oil as well. Oil and all that stuff. Olive oil, all that stuff is really, really expensive. So if you can preserve it after you're done cooking your meat, you can try to get all the crumbs out and try to preserve it and use it for several other times. This is how this other thick rib is looking. But I'm not going to let it fool me because these are two of my thicker ones. And I know these, like this one right here, I'm going to try to go down in the middle with my tongs to make sure it's cooked all the way through. Sometimes you just might have to do that. Or sometimes people might just try to cut it with a knife as it's cooking. But I just kind of press it down in the middle because I want to make sure that it's done all the way through because this is some thick meat, as I have stated several times before. And this one has around about another 2 minutes on it. And then I'm going to take this one out. And then I'm going to go to my rib tips and get those loaded with barbecue sauce. And then I'm going to load this skillet back up after I get these crumbs out. All of these crumbs, these big pieces like this, the big pieces, all that has to be taken out before I load up another skillet. And then I'll have to add a little more oil to my pan before I cook these other raw ones right here. And just like this right here, since this meat is so thick, you can see that. I'm going to turn it and flip it on that side. Press down really, really good to make sure it is cooking all the way through in between there. That's the very disappointing you could ever get, to bite into some meat that's not done. That's something I would never do because I'm going to make sure mine is done. I have been to places, some of these restaurants, these chicken places, and I have got bad chicken. And I said, I just won't go there again. I didn't eat the bad chicken, but when I saw it, it was just kind of like very disappointing. Okay, this one is done as well. I'm going to go ahead and take this one out. Give it the good old shake. Once again, I apologize if the camera is shaking because I'm shaking out that excess oil. Comment down below and let me know what you're cooking today. If you're not cooking, that's still fine and dandy. Like I said, I cook a lot. Sometimes I don't record it. Sometimes I have those days where we just eat those easy stovetop meals. Easy peasy. You know, every day you can't cook a 2-hour meal. You can't do that every day. Okay, so I got both of these on the plate. And I'm just waiting on my other one to come out. It's probably going to be another, this is the thick one. And it's probably going to be like another maybe 3 minutes to be on the safe side. So what I'm going to do is close up these tongues. And this is how these turn out, you guys. Let me bring them to the lighting. And like I said before, if you didn't catch the first part, I said I was going to give it a little sprinkle of the parsley. So this is how they look, you guys. I have brought it to the light. This yellow thing is on the plate. That is in the plate. So that's the plate. It's not the rib. So this is how they look. I just wanted to bring it to the light so you guys can see them really, really good. Okay, this is how my fried pork chop is looking. And if the kids want fried, not pork chop, I'm sorry. This is how my fried rib is looking. It's done. And if the kids want fried pork chops, I'm steady saying pork chops. I guess I'll do pork chops next. Soon, because, you know, we don't eat a lot of pork. But this is my fried rib. This is how it's looking. This is how the other one is looking. I have one coming out the skillet, and then I have several more to cook. Also, the rib tips. I don't know if the kids want the rib tips now or they want to try the fried rib. It doesn't matter, but I've done my job. My Huns, if you don't know how to do the fried ribs, this is how you do it. I'll see you later, my Huns, in the next one. Y'all be safe on this 4th of July and blessed.